Demetrius the Fonsota, the Saviour, was born in 187 BC. He was the son of Seleucus IV Philopator, ruler of the mighty Seleucid Empire. The Seleucids, you see, were no ordinary dynasty. They were the heirs of Seleucus Nicator, a general of Alexander the Great. After Alexander's death, Seleucus carved out a vast empire from the remnants of his conquests. This empire sprawled across Persia, Mesopotamia, and parts of Asia Minor. Demetrius grew up amidst the splendor and intrigue of the Seleucid court. He received an education befitting a prince. He learned philosophy, politics, and the art of war. His childhood, however, was far from idyllic. The Seleucid Empire, much like the empire of Alexander before it, was plagued by internal strife and external threats. The young prince witnessed firsthand the challenges of ruling a vast and diverse realm. Despite the turmoil, Demetrius's early life provided him with invaluable experience. He observed his father's rule, learning the intricacies of statecraft and diplomacy. Little did he know that these lessons would prove crucial in his own struggle for power. Fate, it seemed, had a tumultuous path in store for the young prince. Following the assassination of his father, Demetrius found himself thrust into a world of political uncertainty. His uncle, Antiochus IV Epiphanes, seized the throne. Young Demetrius, deemed a potential rival, was sent to Rome as a hostage. This was a common practice in the Hellenistic world. It ensured the loyalty of vassal kings and served as a tool for Rome to exert its growing influence over the eastern Mediterranean. Life in Rome was a stark contrast to the opulent world Demetrius knew. He was treated with a superficial courtesy befitting his rank, but he was, nonetheless, a prisoner in a gilded cage. The Romans, ever pragmatic, saw him as a pawn in their geopolitical games. They closely monitored his activities, aware of his lineage and the potential threat he posed to their ambitions in the East. Despite the restrictions imposed upon him, Demetrius was not idle during his time in Rome. He observed the workings of the Roman Republic. He studied their military tactics, their political system, and their insatiable appetite for conquest. He learned Latin, befriended influential senators, and even pleaded his case for release before the Roman Senate. His time in Rome, though involuntary, provided him with a unique understanding of his most formidable adversary. Fortune, as it often does, took an unexpected turn. While Antiochus IV campaigned in the east, news reached Rome of his death. The Seleucid throne now fell to a child, Antiochus V Eupator, with the regency in the hands of a powerful minister. Sensing an opportunity, Demetrius made a daring escape from Rome. His escape was a tale worthy of legend. Some accounts speak of him disguising himself as a commoner, slipping out of the city under the cover of darkness. Others claim he had the support of sympathetic senators who facilitated his departure. Whatever the truth, Demetrius returned to the east, determined to reclaim his birthright. Upon his arrival, Demetrius was met with a mixture of apprehension and cautious support. The Seleucid Empire was in disarray. The regency was weak. Provinces were on the verge of rebellion. Demetrius, with his royal lineage and his first-hand experience with the Romans, presented a compelling alternative. He quickly rallied support, leveraging his family's legacy and the promise of restoring stability to the fractured empire. Demetrius's claim to the throne was not without opposition. The ruling regent, fearing for his power, attempted to rally support against the returning prince. However, Demetrius, bolstered by the backing of the army and the populace, moved swiftly to consolidate his power. He captured Antioch, the Seleucid capital, and overthrew the regency. Antiochus V, a mere pawn in a larger game of power, was eliminated, securing Demetrius's position as the undisputed ruler of the Seleucid Empire. His ascension to the throne marked the beginning of a new chapter in Seleucid history. Demetrius, now King Demetrius the Soter, faced the daunting task of restoring order to a crumbling empire. He had to contend with external threats, internal rebellions, and the ever-present shadow of Rome. His reign, though marked by conflict, would prove to be a pivotal period in the history of the Seleucid dynasty. Demetrius' reign coincided with a period of escalating tensions between the Seleucid Empire and the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt. The two Hellenistic powers had long been rivals, their animosity stemming from conflicting territorial ambitions and dynastic disputes. The Sixth Syrian War, which erupted in 167 BC, was the culmination of these simmering tensions. The war was a complex and protracted affair, with both sides vying for control of the disputed region of Coele Syria. Demetrius, a skilled military commander, personally led his forces in battle. He won several victories against the Ptolemaic armies, demonstrating his prowess on the battlefield. However, the war also exposed the limitations of Seleucid power. Despite his military successes, Demetrius was unable to deliver a decisive blow against the Ptolemaic kingdom. The war dragged on, draining the resources of both empires. Moreover, the conflict provided an opportunity for Rome to further its own interests in the region. The Roman Senate, ever eager to exploit divisions among its rivals, intervened diplomatically, imposing a settlement that ultimately favored their own strategic goals. The Sixth Syrian War, while inconclusive, had a profound impact on Demetrius I's reign. The conflict drained the Seleucid treasury and weakened the empire's military. This, in turn, emboldened internal rivals and fueled unrest in the provinces. Demetrius, already facing external threats, now had to contend with challenges to his authority from within his own realm. One such challenge came from the ambitious Timarchus, the satrap of Media. Timarchus, sensing weakness in the Seleucid heartland, declared himself king and carved out an independent kingdom in the east. His rebellion, though ultimately unsuccessful, highlighted the centrifugal forces pulling at the seams of the empire. Demetrius faced further opposition from within his own family. Alexander Ballas, a pretender claiming to be the son of Antiochus IV Epiphanes, emerged as a rival claimant to the Seleucid throne. Backed by Ptolemaic Egypt and the ever-opportunistic Roman Senate, Ballas launched a full-scale invasion of the Seleucid Empire, plunging the realm into yet another round of dynastic conflict. Despite the seemingly endless cycle of wars and rebellions that plagued his reign, Demetrius the Soter left an indelible mark on the Seleucid Empire. He was a capable ruler, a skilled military strategist, and a shrewd diplomat. He understood the challenges facing his empire and strove to maintain its integrity against formidable odds. One of Demetrius's most significant achievements was his administrative reforms. He reorganized the Seleucid bureaucracy, streamlining governance and improving tax collection. He also continued the Seleucid tradition of Hellenization, promoting Greek culture and language throughout the empire. This policy, while controversial, aimed to create a sense of unity and shared identity amongst the empire's diverse populace. Furthermore, Demetrius understood the importance of maintaining a strong military. He reformed the Seleucid army, incorporating new technologies and tactics he had observed during his time in Rome. He also expanded the empire's elephant corps, recognizing the tactical advantage these formidable creatures provided on the battlefield. The final years of Demetrius' reign were marked by escalating conflict with Alexander Ballas. The pretender, backed by powerful external allies, gained ground in the Seleucid heartland. Demetrius, facing betrayal from within his own ranks, fought valiantly to defend his throne and his legacy. The final confrontation between Demetrius and Alexander Ballas took place in 150 BC. The Battle of Antioch, as it became known, was a bloody and decisive encounter. Demetrius, leading his forces with his customary courage, fought bravely but was ultimately defeated and killed. His death marked the end of an era for the Seleucid Empire. Demetrius I Soter's demise on the battlefield was a tragic end to a tumultuous reign. He had spent his life defending his empire against external enemies and internal strife, yet his death ushered in a period of even greater instability for the Seleucid realm. The death of Demetrius I had profound consequences for the Seleucid Empire. His demise created a power vacuum that plunged the realm into a period of protracted civil war. Alexander Ballas, victorious but unstable, proved to be an ineffective ruler. His reign was short-lived, marked by internal strife and external meddling. The Seleucid Empire, once a beacon of Hellenistic power and prosperity, began to unravel. Provinces seceded, declaring independence or falling under the sway of rival powers. The once mighty realm, weakened by internal divisions and external pressures, was gradually dismembered. The Romans, ever opportunistic, exploited the chaos to expand their influence in the eastern Mediterranean. Demetrius the Soter, though flawed in his own right, had been a bulwark against the forces of disintegration. His death removed a key obstacle to Roman expansion, paving the way for the eventual demise of the Seleucid Empire.